Hello guys, welcome to the stream. I'm joined by Enosh, and we're going
Hello.
to cast some spicy games today for the NPA Week 1. And how do you feel?
NPA has been one of my favorite tournaments for a long time, and it was very exciting to see so many great players sign up, and honestly to see the tournament go on for more than 10 years. I'm loving it, and I hear we have some pretty crazy Pokemon coming up too.
Yeah,
So
but we're keeping them
I'm looking
for
forward.
the last match
Ooh.
to not spoil things and keep people here. See a spicy pick for the match between Polar Bear and Nails. But let's get into the first matchup. We have Fedecampo against Chongjun. So Italian player against a Chinese player that played in NA. And I know Fedecampo pretty well. He got recently top 16 at Liverpool. And I've seen him prepare for the regional. And he's going to put like a lot of effort this season. He's determined to aim to the travel award for Yokohama. And yeah, this season on Scarlet and Violet, he won the first 2 online tournaments. And let's not forget also his past results IRL. As a senior, he got second place at the 2020 Oceania International Championship with the same team that Marco Fierro used to win the tournament in Masters. So pretty consistent result there. And for Chongjun, I don't know if you played him.
I didn't get to play him. I haven't gone to too many events since he started playing, but he was killing it in NPA. He's been making a name in World Cup, and he's been doing remarkably well at all these events since he started.
Yeah,
you can keep on going, but
yeah,
he's done
he
well.
got like a regional win, and like some weeks later, he got top 8 at the NAAC. All in the previous season, so 2022, and in the previous years he got, I think, what was like 7 regional cuts. I don't know, I typed multiple because they were a lot.
Lost count.
Yeah
It's easy to lose count, honestly.
A lot of regional cuts. And going to the teams, okay, we're seeing like a pretty standard matchup on the
You
left.
say standard, but Garganacci has not been used that often anymore. I feel like the usage
there is a problem.
has fallen off since
Wait.
Series 1.
It's not Dragonite. It's not Dragonite. It's Great Tusk. There has been a problem.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
So Chongjun's team is that makes it Toller. That makes it the team that Toller, Yotam, and
Justin carries.
Justin all used to top
I think there was like a 4th player with this team. I'm not sure who it was, but I'm sure they were 4. Like, so okay, let me fix this real quick.
We're good. We're good. We see it's a Greatest Dragonite. Great Dragonite.
New Pokemon. Okay. Everything is fine. Yeah. We have it.
Okay.
Yotam also
so it's the Yotam
team.
team which has been killing it. Used by Chongjun, and Fedecampo is using. Well, it doesn't have a Flutter main, so it's, I guess, has a little bit more style points available. But Amoonguss had crazy usage. Bundle had crazy usage. Warrior Moon had higher usage than expected, and Arcanine usage. I feel like Arcanine usage spiked even higher after the Orlando regional, because we all just got presented with how powerful Jolly Arcanine was able to be.
Yeah, and Wolf used a pretty offensive version of Arcanine, because we saw it was able to one-hit KO the Goldango on stream. And that was a pretty unique spread, probably. And about this matchup, actually, Fedecampo is using a team that he got 9-0 in a, I think, Nino Pokebaros tournament recently.
Those guys are good.
And
like, they're the best of ones, right?
I think it was. Fedecampo is in chat, so he might confirm what we're saying. And this matchup actually was played in the top 32 at Orlando because Kevin Salvedo brought brought the team to like Orlando, yeah, to the regional, and he faced not Yotam.
He played
It was
Toller Web in the
Toller.
first
Yeah,
round,
yeah, it was
wasn't it?
Toller. It was
Yeah.
Toller.
And
And
Toller
like
went on
I
to get
spent,
top.
yeah, I
8.
spent the night like trying to prepare the matchup for Kevin, and I didn't manage to. So let's see if Fedecampo managed to like come up with a plan and like reverse what we thought to be like a not a loss matchup for
Yeah.
the Garganaco team.
No, that's so funny because going into the Orlando Top Cut in the middle of the night, once the teams were released, I sent a
Yeah.
message to Toller.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I see the matchup. I haven't gotten to put too much thought. I'm busy, but it looks favored. I don't know the specifics or the lines why. It
Let's
just
hope.
looks good.
Yeah. And
So,
let's
yeah.
jump into the game, I would say.
Mhm. Yes.
So here we are. Okay. So we are seeing Campo items, Campo's items, and we can like try see something here, but actually no, it's all pretty standard sets. So
I'm pretty sure I remember all of Toller's items for what it's worth.
yeah,
If
yeah, we can
I
try. We
remember
can try to
correctly-
list them.
If I remember correctly, it was a Sharp Beak on the Talon Flame. It was Assault Vest on the Tyranitar.
Yep.
It was, I think it was Citrus Berry on the Gothitelle.
Yeah,
it
Citrus Berry.
was Covert Cloak on the Iron Bundle. It was Booster Energy on the Flutter Main.
Yes, and Life Orb
And
on Great
a
Tusk.
Life Orb on the Great Tusk.
And
So
I've tried to
all brought
recreate.
up to speed.
Yeah, I've tried to recreate the Toller Web's team, and that Flutter Main is one of the bulkiest thing I've ever seen. And I think Fedecampo knows this, because we have like a group chat, a testing group chat, and a lot of us are playing and like testing the Toller Web and the other guy's team. So I think he's confident with the spreads of his opponent. And actually, it was open team sheets for them. So if there was any change for Chongjun's side, Fedecampo knows it, and he can like play around the changes Chongjun made. So we had the leads. Oh, I didn't expect this lead actually.
Oh my goodness, going having a Tyranitar and locking that into Arcanine and Iron Bundle.
Yeah,
That's,
pretty usually. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's usually the lead you go for against Side Spam. So the Indeedee Armarouge type of comp, because you trap them on the field and they cannot do like anything to Tyranitar. So I didn't expect this lead to come up like against this kind of good stuff. So yeah, let's see, because we have like a Will-O-Wisp threat on the Tyranitar here. And
I'm a bit surprised by the Terra Ghost on the Iron Bundle. We're gonna see how that goes out. But Terra Ghost on the Iron Bundle, it's now Fake Out immunity, so it does get a guaranteed attack off. And there are no protects from either side, so something is getting lynched here. And is that going to be enough? There is an Intimidate. You don't do too much. Assault Vest and Sandstream lower the damage a lot.
there is a miss.
And Rock Slide
Or Iron
misses
Bundle,
Iron
though,
Bundle.
who was like Ghost type, so I think it wasn't even 2-hit KO. Which I'm honestly surprised for a Hydro Pump not to be 2-hit KO. I mean, it's Assault Vest, there is the Sand, but this is Iron Bundle. Like, I thought we were going to see a lot more damage. But no, so Chongjun seems pretty solid with this Tyranitar on the field. I think it might have to switch it out right now if it doesn't want to get burned. And yeah, Will-O-Wisp is what is going to happen for Fedecampo's side. And we didn't see a switch out. So yeah, here comes the burn. And Freeze Dry did like 20%, I think. Oh!
Wow, that's different.
Yeah, yeah, we're
and
seeing
locking down
set.
the Iron Bundle, that's a really cool change.
Yeah, we've seen, I think, a few Thunderwave Ghost Tails, or maybe I'm just tripping. But I think its usage has been rising. So
Yeah, Thunderwave is one of those moves that I'm a very big fan of. Like I went into use bulky Thundurus like starting in 2011, and I just loved it since then. I feel like being able to get the paralysis, lock things up for later in the game is still really powerful, and just chunking things out with this Thunder Wave, this Rock Slide, sets up Chungjin to lose these Pokemon, but still be in a remarkable spot.
yeah, I mean, he has to manage to like KO Arcanine before leaving the field with his Pokemons, because the Intimidate pressure could be like useful for Fedecampo during the rest of the game. But actually, what we're seeing is that Chungjin isn't dealing enough damage to this lead. So okay, the double up onto Gothitelle is enough to pick the KO for Campo. And Rock Slide, yeah, is going to pick the KO on Arcanine. And Iron Bundle here is paralyzed, so should be slower than every Pokemon on Chungjin's side.
Yeah, the Great Tusk, the Flutter Mane right now especially is in a really strong spot. The Roaring Moon could counter that, so I think that I would want to sequence whatever I bring in to cover for Roaring Moon in particular. Because that's the main Pokemon that I think could swing the game back in Fedecampo's favor.
Yeah, actually, Flyer Mane, I talked about it being so bulky, but it cannot like survive a Terra Acrobatics, which isn't the case of this game, because Iron Bundle did use the Terra Ghost. But yeah, 2 Throat Chops should be enough to KO like the bulkiest Flutter Mane on the planet. So yeah, it's going to sleep this turn probably, unless it flinches. And the Terra Flying is not enough.
Pretty good odds, not gonna lie, for flinch to end up happening.
I mean, not pretty good odds. It's still 27%, so...
I know.
Yeah, it's open team list. Okay, let's see. Oh, it's Life Orb, Flutter Mane. So, another change.
Oh, that could be fast.
Yeah, I expect it to be, like, really fast, and... Yeah, faster than Roaring Moon for sure, but it went to sleep. So, being Life Orb, I think it's not going to be able to take a Throat Chop.
Yeah.
Oh, we saw Jolock.
Oh, it's a Jolock. That's a little bit weaker, but I think it still gets there. Unless, well, speed boosting might not.
Let's see.
Yeah, that makes it interesting.
Attack boost. Yeah.
And attack, so that would get it, but that makes it slower. I think that means you can get the KO.
Yeah, you can definitely get the KO with with acrobatics.
Acrobatics is 110 power. Jolock should be
a bit more,
a little bit stronger.
Yeah, but he's probably
I guess
covering.
It covers for great.
Yeah, exactly.
Covers for a switch technically, but I don't know how I feel about that in particular.
Yeah, maybe this match being
it should still get the knockout.
Yeah, it should get the knockout.
Should still get the knockout either way.
And this being open sim list, maybe Fedecampo is confident that this KOs because it's still faster. So that's Flutter Mane, Life Orb, but not max speed. And that's not something I expected to see. But yeah, it works. And
I guess to me that implies that there's probably a booster energy on that Iron Bundle instead of a Covert Cloak.
Yeah.
So things that Fedecampo already knows and is aware of, but we'll see how it ends up playing out and working out.
And we're seeing a Protect for Roaring Moon. Maybe Fedecampo didn't notice that Flutter Mane was slower. I don't see why you should Protect if you see like the speed tiers. Maybe he just wasn't paying attention to like the battle order. I think so.
Well, this turn, if you attacked, you would have been able to take the knockout and go for a
Spore.
pollen puff onto. No, you can't. Not the spore.
Oh yeah, it's
You'd go for
burned.
the side
Yeah,
pollen
sorry.
puff because it's already status. So you'd have the opportunity to go for the pollen puff because it's burned. You'd get back to full health.
Yeah.
But honestly, like it worked out. I think you just ended up chunking out the T-Tar a little bit more.
Yeah. It will
Was it
die
worth
to
it?
burn the next
know.
turn. And we are going to see the last Pokemon from Chunjun. I think it's Great Tusk, honestly. Or, yeah.
No, oh, it is. Huh.
Yeah.
I feel like the Iron. I feel like I really would have wanted to see some Iron Bundle on it. But,
Yeah, Iron Bundle probably would have won the game, but in this case, I think it's pretty won by Fedecampo. I don't see how Great Tusk can handle like an Acrobatics or Breaking Swipe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably Acrobatics without the Terra doesn't KO Great Tusk because it has very high defense stat. I'm not sure of the calc though.
Just like an addendum to that previous turn. If you know that that Flutter Mane is probably a Terra Fairy option, and not or Terra Steel. I think that it was Terra Steel on Tolar Web's team, if I remember, or something like that. And that means you don't want to click. Well, that's even if it's Terra Fairy, you click Acrobatics. If it's Terra Steel, you click Jawlock.
Okay, Terra
So
Ground.
I think that there would have been something like that.
Terra Ground coming out from Great Tusk, and that's why you go for Breaking Swipe. You just want to like limit the damage.
And did Mungus not click Rage Powder?
I'm not sure. He went for Spore, if I've seen correctly. Yeah.
That's.
Yeah. If he went for close combat here, I think we would have seen like a different scenario.
I think that you always go for the Headlong Rush, but
yeah, because you like
that was just a little bit of giving. You don't want to give your opponent a chance when you have such a commanding position.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit. I think that Fedecampo with the Spore and sequencing did remarkably well, but it ended up kind of leaving Chungjun had some opportunities, great lead, but didn't follow it up with enough speed control, and didn't follow it up with just like fast enough Pokemon to cover for to go cover for.
And we have the Flutter Mane.
Yeah, well, Mr. Viz, I love Mr. Viz. I got second in nationals with this.
Second in national.
Yeah, back in 2013. So seeing that get a Paradox for made me very happy.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the big thing to me that I felt was Chungjun led perfectly.
Yeah.
But he didn't follow it up. His back just didn't get the speed control, didn't have enough tools. And what we ended up seeing was very quickly our friend Chungjun got ran over by the attack boosting Roaring Moon. It wasn't a speed boost, it was an attack boost. And that attack boost still outsped the Flutter Mane and got way too much damage off.
Yeah, we've seen actually the interaction with Flutter Mane speed is pretty singular in my opinion, because we haven't seen a Roaring Moon being faster than a Flutter Mane in a while, and I think you should expect from a bulky Flutter Mane, but it's a Life Orb set.
Yeah.
So I thought it was like Teammate Max Speed, and yeah, that's not what I was expecting. And let's go back to the team preview, actually. I expect Chungjun to change lead right now.
What kind of adjustment do you think he should be making?
I think
like,
Iron Bundle.
Iron Bundle?
Yeah, he should bring Iron Bundle, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think that one of the big things would be preserving the fake out for the back, potentially, to go into lock out the Moongus, lock out the Roaring Moon. But I think that the Triantar is still really strong. I want to play around that. I want to get attacks off pretty early, pretty quickly. And if I can get a Hydro Pump off on Arcanine and Tyranitar for early advantage, that would make me very happy as Chungjun.
And let's see. Okay, he didn't bring Yattel as speed control choice. Instead, we are seeing the Talonflame against the same exact lead from Fedecampo, and he was pretty confident. Maybe, as I said, he had time with Kevin to like study and prepare a plan against the Talon Task stuff that came out with the Orlando Regional. And let's see what Talonflame is going to bring to this game more than Gothitelle. Probably a faster speed control choice. So we
Definitely
might see
fast
a Tailwind.
Tailwind.
Yeah.
Talonflame does get the fastest Tailwind that I can think of.
Yeah, I think it's the fastest. Quite sure, yeah. And Hydro Pump. Okay. Fedecampo wanted to like one-hit KO the Talonflame and put it out of the game instantly. But we're seeing a Rock Slide that might result in a flinch. And no flinch, and Will-O-Wisp hits. So that's like a percentage game here. But yeah, it came out good for Fedecampo.
Yeah, good.
And we're seeing that actually it is a 2-hit KO Rock Slide on Iron Bundle. I expected to be like slightly more actually, but it's barely a 2-hit KO. And with the burn, it's not going to be enough damage anymore, but the Flutter Mane coming on the field can bring some damage to the table.
The Dazzling Gleam with the Life Orb is really scary right now. You go see, oh man, they're modest. I was faster. They're going to deal a lot of damage right now. That means that my Iron Bundle, how do I do anything with that? That Tyranitar is still going to do some damage. It's -1, it's burned, but it did do like half of my Arcanine's health. It did do a lot of damage to the Iron Bundle. So like, I don't know, kind of hard. Tyranitar is a bit of a tyrant sometimes. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, definitely. And we're seeing Iron Bundle leaving the field for Among Us, and a Terra being used on Chongjun's side, I think. Yeah, Tyranitar going for the Terra. Okay, Terra Rock.
Okay.
And this is a thing we have seen from actually Penguin. So Naoto Mitsubishi, 2019 World Champion. We have seen him on the battle spot using Terra Rock Tyranitar. So that's maybe a thing Chongjun has seen, or maybe that's the thing that like in the Eastern meta is more common, and so we can see the interaction of our like development of the format with the development of Eastern Asia.
Well, with that miss, I don't think we see the interaction anymore.
Yeah. And we're seeing Among Us came in to tank some attacks, and Arcanine is being switched out instantly to bring in the Iron Bundle once again. Yeah. And I think we're going to see a Spore. Okay, no, the switch isn't happening. Okay, he's trying to go for a double protect here.
It's crazy that we get to see like every action
that
Fedecampo gets to make. It's like,
we see the thought process.
I don't want to go into. It's like, I wish I could go just commentate and talk about all the options, but now I see what he's doing. It's like. But yeah, going protecting on the Spore, I guess that confirms a lack of taunt on the Flutter Mane.
Yeah.
And we still know the Iron Bundle, the Roaring Moons in the back. And that's really scary because those Pokemon are going to outspeed Chongjun's at this point. And Chongjun's Tailwind has only one turn left. Like, you only have the wind behind you for so long before it goes against you.
Yeah, and I mean, Fedecampo has the option to protect Arcanine this turn, but he can also like just leave it to die and get in on the field with Iron Bundle right now. And he chooses to protect Arcanine and Among Us. Actually, we have seen double protect. Yeah, I think Among Us wasn't at risk here, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know if this calc, like if Shadow Ball plus Rock Slide would have KO'd. Oh, Acerons. Okay. Yeah,
I guess that's a pretty good play. What I like about that play in particular is Tailwind runs out. Arcanine now is faster than Tyranitar, and that means that Fluttermane wants to click Dazzling Gleam.
Yeah, to
And
try and get the knockout.
Fluttermane clicking Dazzling Gleam, I can handle that. The
Yeah.
Fluttermane clicking Shadow Ball, that becomes scary.
Yeah, for sure. And Tyranitar being burned obviously doesn't represent a threat on its own. It needs like a Shadow Ball to KO the Among Us. And I'm not sure if actually Dazzling Gleam is enough to pick up the KO on Arcanine. But if now Fede Campo doubles up onto Fluttermane, we might see a Protect and Rock Slide from Chongjun's side, which can flip like the situation. And with flip, I actually mean that it still has to face the Iron Bundle coming in. Ooh, Shadow Ball almost knocks out, so yeah. It was more than enough with Assurance. Let's see if Chongjun went for Rock Slide to like try and pick up both KOs. Yeah, because Arcanine does not KO himself with the Flare Blitz. Fluttermane having a very low HP stat.
Honestly, not taking that KO might be a little bit better because you end up not having to deal with a full HP Iron Bundle took some damage. You don't have to deal with like Iron Bundle and Roaring Moon on the same turn. I feel like that's where things could get a bit dicier.
Yeah, you're right.
There we go, the Iron Bundle in the back. That's going to work out a lot better for Chongjun than last game.
Yes, and we see it's actually booster energy, as we've said before. And yeah, it's going to be very, very scary for Fede Campo, I think, because it can go for a nice wind, I think, and he'll be faster than Roaring Moon after it comes on the field. And
I think that there are a lot of options this turn. I'm not sure what the best thing is because you want to avoid damage. But also, what's better to avoid? A Freeze Dry, a Hydro Pump, or a Flare Blade?
Yeah, let's see what they went for. Oh, and Chongjun actually chose to go for a Freeze Dry and KO the Iron Bundle on Fede Campo's side.
Okay.
Okay, Snarl to reduce the damage from the Iron Bundle, and Low Kick like just picks up the KO on the Arcanine at 4 HP. And we're going to see Roaring Moon against 3 Pokemons, I think.
2 Pokemon. The Town Flame got one shot by the Hydro Pump to open up the game.
Yeah.
So, it's very easy to miss Hydro Pump. It's very easy to connect Hydro Pump. It's
oh no,
very
Fluttermane actually
to go down.
Actually, Fluttermane got knocked out, so it's Roaring Moon against 2.
It's a world. There is a Terra option, and that's kind of interesting here.
Yeah. It's going for the Protect. Maybe to scout some Protects from Chongjun's side and like let Tyranitar get the burn damage. So it's always worth for Fede Campo to Protect here. Like 1 in 16 HP less for Tyranitar. And he can now think of what he's going to do. I think Jolok might get the knockout, I think, on Tyranitar. I'm not quite sure of it, actually. But
I don't know my calcs at this point.
Yeah.
All I know is that do I Terra Flying and take a Rock Slide, or do I stay Terra Dark, or do I stay Dark and take a Low Kick? And does that make it different?
Sand player.
I just don't know, and it freaks me out. Like, Rock Slide, that's like 75 power. Oh, it's Terra Rock Stab. That's like really strong. Okay, that's also really strong. What are they gonna do? Ooh. Oh, there's a Protect!
Yeah, and we see an Acrobatics going onto the Protect from Iron Bundle. And that was the Protect that Fede Campo was trying to fish for the last turn, where he protected. And Chongjun decides to protect right now and goes for low kick on a Roaring Moon that decided to Terrafly. So 19 HP is the damage from Tyranitar.
So now the question, will Rock Slide hit? Does Freeze Dry freeze?
Yeah,
Does
those are the
Moon
questions.
take these hits?
I think actually... Okay.
Oh.
I think it's not enough. Ooh!
No. Neither Pokemon can run away, but that's
No!
needed once you go and do that much damage. Rock Slide misses.
Rock Slide misses,
die by the Rock Slide or die by the burn. One way or the other. That Tyranitar's off the field. That Tyranitar.
Yeah.
And you have Iron Bundle against Roaring Moon.
And we have to see, because I don't think Freeze Dry is enough to pick up the KO. And there are two factors, the crit and the freeze. Let's see if it's enough. And it's not enough. Freeze, no freeze, and that closes up the game. GG's to Fedecampo and Chongjun. And Fedecampo brings it home for Symbionts. GG to both. And... So yeah, Fedecampo actually
die by the Rock Slide, man. Live and die by the Rock Slide.
That's a low in Pokemon's world. And yeah, we've seen Fedecampo actually flipping what I thought was a really bad matchup. And yeah, played very well. Maybe a bit lucky in G2.
There was so much familiarity from Fedecampo's side regarding the team. Fedecampo knew what the team was doing, when it was doing it, how to play, and used that to work out.
Yeah,
he didn't make a mistake. He knew what he was doing. He led to the same thing every time, and he knew his lines.
Maybe if he knew the Freeze Dry calc, he had like Jolock on turn 1. No, it was a 50-50 actually. When Iron Bundle protected, if he used Jolock on Tyranitar, he didn't have to like hope for the miss. For the Rock Slide miss, and he could just protect the next turn to let the burn do its job and KO the Tyranitar. But yeah, it was a 50-50, so GG to Fedecampo, and we hope to see like maybe some other games of this level. And we have some big names coming up, so yeah, I think we can expect some nice games. And to answer the question,
I got a question because I don't know my calcs. Maybe you can fill me in on that. So on that Terra Flying turn, would Breaking Swipe 2 times have gotten the KO on
Iron Bundle?
Because if you're Breaking Swipe twice, that should do more damage than a single Jolock.
Yeah, it should.
So if you Breaking Swipe 2 times, would that get the KO? Do you think that would get the KO on both Pokemon?
Probably yes.
Because with that Freeze Dry calc, now that we know it, I think that Fedecampo might have been able to lock the game up even more. I
think actually Fedecampo needed to like one hit KO either one of Chongjun's Pokemon. Because if they were alive in the same turn, they would have done enough damage to KO the Roaring Moon. And actually, in the chat, they're asking why not Assurance on the turn that Rock Slide missed. And I think, that Assurance was better, actually. Because we have seen with Assurance, he would have won the game. So, no miss. Assurance gets like, I don't know, 24 HP, to say a random number, and Freeze Dry then gets the KO the next turn. So yeah, we might see it as a mistake from Chongjun's side, but at the end, a mistake is punished with a miss. So the Pokemon gods are here to watch us and to bring the karma.
Yeah. Whenever you live and die by the Rock Slide is the main thing. You need to follow. If the game wants you to win, you let the game decide.
Yeah.
But also, like, one of the hard things about NPA, you learn a new team every single week.
Yeah, you have to learn
one
a
team
new
and
team.
you freak out because your everyone's telling you you're gonna counter team you, and then you end up running Colossal for 7 weeks in a row, and no one
Yeah.
counter
Or as No did in, I think, NPA 9, where he went 11-0. He brought the same team for, I think, 6 weeks in a row and lost one game. Like,
Yeah.
no 1v3, one game.
I'm pretty sure he just like went triple ghost for like 4
Yeah,
weeks in a row.
yeah, exactly.
Just,
And
you know, normal things. So we see a lot of that.
yeah, and let's go to the next match. We're seeing Iceberg against Kyogre SG. Iceberg, we've seen this guy coming to Liverpool all the way down from North America and like destroy the shit out of us, and going to get the win in Liverpool Regional. And as we can see here, he got top 8 at the London VG Open. So he's currently, I think, the highest CP, like the player with the most CPs in the world. And let's see, we expect to see him more this season, see his name shine. And about Kyogre SG, Chinese player, and we can see that he has got top 16 in the recent victory road to Melbourne. No, Roaring Moon was faster than Flowermane, or if you're talking about the Iron Bundle,
game.
yeah, it was lower than Iron Bundle, yeah. And Kyogre SG, MVP for Team China at the World Cup 2021. So he's pretty used and strong in these team tournaments. And being a Chinese player, he plays obviously Chinese local tournaments. And I didn't include this into these results, but he won 2 locals in Shanghai. And Alex Chian, who is in chat, can confirm what I'm saying. Please, if I'm saying like some false results, please correct me. And yeah, we can see the teams. Okay, I think Iceberg has the team he brought to Orlando.
That looks pretty similar to the team he brought to Orlando, I think.
That should be.
And we see Kyogre bringing Emilio's team, which again, Emilio just insane, went to 10-0. So
yeah,
pretty strong teams overall, both sides.
Yeah, we're going to see if Kyogre can manage to like make the team shine as Emilio was able to, because we know Emilio being a phenomenal builder, phenomenal player, like playing his team makes it like you have to live up to some expectations that he brought to the regional. Like 10-0 is a solid result, and even if it ended up with a top 8, it's still a 10-0. And we can jump into the game. I think we are in the team preview, and yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I've been playing with something similar to Emilio's team recently, and one of the things that I found to be pretty difficult is one, updating the post sides, and 2, what I found on top of that to be difficult was this Great Tusk, Glamour, Fluttermane, Iron Bundle. All these Pokemon kind of struggle with dealing with Tatsugiri Dondozo sometimes. Tatsugiri Dondozo does a lot of damage, and it's hard to break through.
And we're seeing...
Like, you don't have anything in particular for it.
We're actually seeing Iceberg not bringing them in this team preview. Oh, and I didn't update the... I'm sorry. There's still Fede Campo.
Don't worry. Like, it's okay. We can go into talk about Fede Campo and Chungju a little bit more.
Yeah.
That was a pretty exciting, close game. What I like is also just like how the team from Orlando are getting picked up so quickly and used. And another thing that I like is trying to stir a bit of drama. So is Luca European or North American? Did North America take a regional win?
Luca Paz es español.
No.
Es español.
Luca's Spanish. He's from Spain.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna mess with him. I'm not gonna mess with anyone. Like, come on. He's just playing at NA. He's going to school at NA. He's great. I wish him a lot of luck in Rutgers, but he's Spain.
Okay, so we have like many players saying that, and yeah, I'll take that as low. So yeah, he's Spanish.
Yeah.
And
no, I had dinner with him after he won the event. Like I got to hang out with Antonio, Luca, and all of that.
Yeah.
And he was like talking about why are people trying to claim me as NA? Stop doing that. But what I really think is cool is just this game right now. We see a Talonflame, a Dragonite, and then there's a Glamora. So I'm kind of freaking out right now because Glamora is scary. Glamora is terrifying, and there aren't... oh, there's a Sonic Tantrum on the Dragonite.
Yeah, and Extreme Speed coming out for the Dragonite. Okay.
So gets the tailwind off. Wait, what?
Yeah, what?
Why did the Talonflame go second? What did it... oh, did it click Taunt?
Yeah, I think it did, because we are seeing Gale Wings, like there wasn't a breeding error, so it doesn't have Flame Body. It went for Wisp, actually. Okay, thank you, Alex. And
wow,
yeah, that's a straight knockout on turn 1, and without the speed control setup. So yeah, Glamora here is going to make a lot of damage to all the Iceberg team. Because if it switches out, it's got like a Terra Ground, I think, or maybe it's Terra Grass, but it's still got her power. So
I believe it was Terra Grass.
Terra Grass, yeah. And yeah, we're seeing Iceberg thinking about it quite a lot. See how he can come back from this point. Let's see if Kyogre
he
SG...
did Terra though.
Yeah, and ooh. So Glamora stayed on the field and Terra Ground, okay? Let's see, maybe it's not choice backs. So maybe it's like Emilio's team, but with different sets. We're going to see a Will-O-Wisp coming out on the Dragonite through like half its damage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was an Assault Fest on the Dragonite.
Yeah, and Glamora is not choice backs. So yeah, this is going... ooh! 2 HP for the Goldango. And Make It Rain not quite getting the knockout on Glamora.
I guess that the opting out of Terra typing the Dragonite ended up working out in his...
yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't know actually why he went for Terra Blast here. And not for Extreme Speed. Like, what's the point?
You don't activate the... you don't give the Toxic Debris.
Okay, so you say, like, if it doesn't Terra, it gets knocked out by Make It Rain. And, yeah, and Terra Blast goes on to Talonflame. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. And here we have Iron Bundle coming out. And I don't see how Iceberg can flip this game. Like, Kyogre SG has a solid random attack on Goldango, and Dragonite being burned, it like just doesn't deal damage to the opposing Pokemons.
You somehow get 2 Terra Blasts onto the Iron Bundle, and then KO'd with Extreme Speed after that. And then Great Tusk takes the win.
Yeah,
how does that work? I'm not sure.
That's the only thing that can
that's
happen.
the out.
Yeah, that's the plan, I think. We're going to see Icy-Wind, okay, to knock down the Goldango, and probably Brave Bird here to like deal the highest amount of damage possible before leaving the field for Talonflame. Yeah, I think it could knock out himself. No? No? Okay. Talonflame is still on the field.
Yeah, they're terrible.
And the Terra Blast doing, oh my god, like 40%. of Iron Bundle's health, and I'm not sure if another Terra Blast and Extreme Speed are enough to pick the KO.
So, I think that, is it a Focus Sash on the Great Tusk? Because I found that Focus Sash on Great Tusk to be pretty good.
Yeah, it should be Focus
And
Sash.
that might, like, you get to close combat, you get to extreme speed, or, I don't know.
Yeah, I think here Iceberg has to go for Extreme Speed on Talonflame and Close Combat on to the Iron Bundle. Icewind, though, is here and can deal a lot of damage to both Great Tusk and Dragonite. If I'm not mistaken, Icewind to Great Tusk should deal around like 60% damage. And that's a lot of damage for a 55 base power spread move. But here we see the Protect from Iron Bundle, Extreme Speed on the Talonflame, as we said, and Close Combat onto the Iron Bundle. Yeah, and Kyogre SG wanted to find, like, to have the field status with Iron Bundle and a second Pokemon that is not Talonflame, and that's fair, honestly.
Yeah, like, who knew that Protect could be such a good could be such a good move?
Yeah, and yeah, we see Flowerman here. I think the game is over. Kyogre SG should pick up the win pretty comfortably after that turn 1. Unless we see, yeah, no, it's not Choice Scarf Great Tusk, so yeah. Sash confirmed, Focus Sash on the Great Tusk.
And which Iceberg already had known and Kyogre had already known about.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, this closes out game 1. Yeah, I think the main mistake here was not setting up the Tailwind on turn 1 for
or Brave Birding even. You were able to click Brave Bird and double target the slot, and that also could have done a lot.
But, yeah, actually, we've seen someone on stream at Orlando not picking up the KO onto a Talonflame with Extreme Speed and Brave Bird. I don't remember if it was Iceberg in particular. But yeah, that's not a sure calc. Like, you could see the Talonflame leave and an Extreme Speed plus Brave Bird combo. So yeah. I would always go for a Tailwind.
Match a Tailwind, yeah, that makes sense. The other thing that I think could have been pretty cool is just Dondozo this. You need to only beat the Iron Bundle at that point. Everything else kind of starts to resolve itself.
Yeah.
The lead matchup, if you go Dondozo, like Lamore into Dondozo is pretty good for you. Talonflame into Dondozo, you can play around that. You got the Lumberry.
Yeah, it's Lumberry.
And so just go. It's also Terra Ground. You are able to just say, hey, let me get this advantage. Dondozo, a little bit here, a little bit there. I don't think there was a booster energy, so maybe I can Icy Wind, maybe I can Tailwind, and then get the Goldango to do some things. So I really hope that we see a little bit of Dondozo coming
on
from
stream,
Luca's end.
On stream at Orlando, actually, we have seen Emilio going up against a Dondozo's team. And like, I was watching the game, and I had no idea how Emilio could win against Dondozo. And then he pulled off like one of the craziest sets I've ever seen. And not because he made some huge predicts or things like that. I just have honestly no idea how he won. Because you see...
So having played with a similar team, really it's just, damn, I'm behind. I gotta just get the damage in correctly. Turn after turn after turn. I'm gonna force Terra right now. And because I force a Terra this turn or the next turn, I'm going to deal enough damage that way I have the speed control for the next 2 turns. And you just got to somehow think about that. Every single damn turn when you are behind and playing is Emilio's thing. You got to be careful. You got to go maybe with this. You need to go for a Wisp to get damage control, but there's a Lumberry. You can't do that. So you got to keep trying to play around that with Emilio's team. And it's not easy.
And going into the game, we see a Tatsugiri in lead, and I don't think Luca has brought Dondozo to the game. Actually, in team preview, I think we haven't seen Dondozo selected, and that's a pretty unique choice.
So yes.
So yeah, he's going for a heavy speed control turn, I think. Yeah, Tailwind and Icy Wind on turn 1, and that's pretty huge if you want to set up the damage for the mons you have in the back.
I guess that sets up the choice specs Goldango to do a lot.
And we see Protect from Delibird. No, not Delibird, sorry. Iron Bundle. I call it Delibird, but...
It's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Let me look. There was a really good name that my friend... I gotta pull that up real quick.
Yeah. And we see a nice win in the meanwhile. And Power Gem knocking out the Talonflame. So, Talonflame gets knocked out turn 1 again for Iceberg. But this time, it set up Tailwind at least. And it set up Tailwind for a Goldango, Choice Specs Goldango coming in. And with an Ice Wind on his side, it can do pretty well. I think I would have stayed on the field with Tatsugiri though. I don't think... Yeah, Goldango cannot be faster than Iron Bundle, even if the Tailwind has been set up. Iron Bundle being very, very fast.
Did it have the Booster Energy proc?
Yeah, Booster Energy proc into Protect.
Oh my goodness.
Protect on the Icy Wind. So Iron Bundle is at 309 speed stat, and Goldango at with Tailwind set up can only get to, I think, 300.
That's
298
yeah, but,
maybe.
Iceberg looks to be running pretty bulky, so
yeah,
even that looks a bit tough. Well, turns out that
Iron Bundle switched
he understood
out.
that Iron Bundle wants to be preserved, so you get to play around that.
And we see Talonflame coming in, and we know for a fact that Glimora can take Make It Brain at +0. So
if it terras, at least.
Yeah, if it terras. And this time it's at -1. So it should be pretty confident staying on the field against this Goldango. It's going to use the Terra Steel, but it shouldn't be enough to KO the Glimora without the Extreme Speed. And Extreme Speed should be used on Talonflame this turn, I think, to prevent the Tailwind to being set up for a Kyogre SG. And yeah, we see the Terra Steel from the Goldango to try and boost that, make it rain.
Quite like this. I really enjoy the Terra Steel right now to go follow that up with the Icy Wind to Tatsugiri. Because now that switch happened, you can now Terra Steel the rest of this game, click an Icy Wind, and that should be able to clean up with Dragonite, Tatsugiri, and Goldango. I think it gets it.
Yeah, we have to see if Earth Power... Oh
my goodness, that's
okay.
A lot of damage.
Okay, I didn't expect this damage actually. But yeah, okay.
I guess it makes sense that that it cancels out the Terra type, gives you about 33% more damage.
Yeah.
-1 reduces you by 33% damage. So it turns out they cancel each other out.
I think actually
the Icy Wind damage apparently put it in range.
Yeah. I'm not sure of the calc actually. I think the multipliers apply like it's a multiplication 0.67 times 133. So it shouldn't like match.
It does match.
Okay.
It does match because it's a 4/3. Because you end up going 2 over 3. You end up going 4 over 3, and then you end up having that 3. You end up having a 2 over 3.
We're doing some math here.
Like, the reduction ends up, I think it should.
I broke Enosh.
Uh, wait, you're right. You need to be 1.5. You should be
Yeah, yeah.
weaker. Ah, my brain. But what we got going on now is
Yeah, Dragonite switched out.
protecting. Everything should be click and protect, and you get Icy Wind. You get the Make It Rain to follow this up, and I would feel pretty good as Iceberg, because Iceberg played that really well.
Yeah, and particularly the turn where he switched out Tatsugiri to bring in the Dragonite and bring some damage on the field to like be able to match that Talonflame switch in. That was pretty good play, I think. He was thinking about how he could have dealt with Talonflame once it came on the field, and he decided to do that instantly by bringing the Dragonite on the field. And we're not seeing an Ice Wind actually here. He went for a DKO on Delibird. Still Iron Bundle, it's not a Delibird. I have to like fix it in my brain.
I have a better name for it, which I just checked with my friend. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Delibot.
No.
Delibot.
No.
Delibot.
And we're going to see
It's a robot. It's a
tie.
Delibot robot.
Yeah. And Iceberg ties to be a 3. Delibot. Okay.
Okay, yeah, 3 times. Now you announce.
Yeah, okay, Delibot is fine. And
Okay.
yeah, so we've seen a Tatsugiri here brought with the Talonflame as lead to bring the speed control on the field instantly. So he went for from game 1 to not set up the Tailwind to game 2, bringing Tailwind, the Ice Wind in lead. Maybe he can do something in between the two and not be like...
The Goldango was really good. That's the big thing. Goldango took the one shot on the Glamora, and man, oh man, if you can keep doing that, you're golden.
Go. Yeah. And I don't know if it was a roll. If it was a roll onto the Glimora. I think most likely it was a roll. But it seemed like a pretty confident play from Iceberg's side. So we're going to see if he wants to do that again during this last game of the BO3. And yeah, do you think we are going to see a Dondozo in game 3?
It looks like Iceberg is hovering over it a lot.
Yeah, but like, it's just the first
He
place.
is. Yeah, but he's hovering.
Yeah, so you think we might see some... No, okay.
No, I think we're...
Ooh, yeah, we're
we
seeing...
did it.
Okay, we're
Let's
seeing...
go, Dondozo!
So we're seeing the Goldango that carried his last game. And the Dondozo taking the place of Dragonite in this game. We're going to see if it can manage to like maybe surprise the opponent and bring home the win.
Both games, what we really saw was that Luca opted out of tried to opt out of terroring the Dragonite for a little bit. And if you're not terrorizing Dragonite, it's a bad Pokemon. It feels awful to bring when you don't terror it. And that kind of means that, hey, Dondozo could end up winning if I get a KO on the Delibot. And if I manage to do that, that's really a big swing that I can play with. On top of it, it protects Tatsugiri a little bit. Tatsugiri was really important after I got an advantage.
Yeah. And we see both the players leading with the Pokemons that let them win their own game. So Tatsugiri Talonflame from Iceberg side and Glimora Talonflame from Kyogre SG side. And we're going to see if they both go for Tailwind this turn. I think they probably should, even if like Tatsugiri is a huge threat for Kyogre SG in this specific turn because of Muddy Water that can deal a lot of damage to both his Pokemon. And we're not going to see any Protect. Instead, double Tailwind and Muddy Water is going to connect onto both Pokemons. And oh my god.
Oh, that did a lot, man. Oh, and it did a lot more.
Yeah, and this is the free switch. I don't think we're going to see it at Dondozo actually, because no, okay, it's Lumberry, but I still think we're going to see Goldango. Yeah, you don't want to take the Will-O-Wisp in your face, and you want, most importantly, you want to attack with Tatsugiri this turn, in my opinion.
I think that you click the Make It Rain, and I think you switch the Tatsugiri into the Dondozo.
Okay.
And then you get to click more moves with Goldango. But also, oh wait, never mind. Goldango's probably slower. I'm being silly.
That's the problem with not attacking with Tatsugiri this turn. So I think...
you click the moves and you miss the Make It Rain. And by that I mean, because Make It Rain hits either Protect or whatever else happens, you end up being in a pretty fine spot. The downside is Glimmer's going to be faster next turn, and there's going to be an Iron Bundle.
Yep. And the main reason why you wanted the Goldango on the field, wasn't that you needed the Goldango on the field, but you needed the Tatsugiri to be able to attack this turn. So bringing the Dondozo in meant that you weren't able to attack with Tatsugiri. Yeah, that's pretty much the only reason why Goldango is on the field right now. And we're going to see probably Iron Bundle. Ooh, King Gambit. So that's a huge change to BO3. Because I don't think we have the Iron Bundle in the back right now. Or else I would have brought it up like this turn.
Yeah.
And we've seen like a pretty pixelated shade from Tatsugiri, but yeah, that's the game. And
Gambit.
Yeah, here Iceberg is clicking a random move with Tatsugiri because we've seen the Dondozo switching in for the Goldango. And yeah, I think this is a pretty safe position. You don't freeze anything. Maybe Kodo Cleave and Slash Bomb is the highest damage that that Dondozo can take. And I don't think we're going to see a double up onto Dondozo actually. Or if you are,
well, if you click the Kotao Cleave into it at the very least, and other than that, no, or you click Sucker Punch and Earth Power.
Yeah,
I think Sucker Punch Earth Power seems to be really strong.
Ocerans, okay.
That looks even stronger, honestly. So
I think he called the switching of Dondozo, or else like Glimora would have died to Tatsugiri this turn if he went for Muddy Water. And yeah, I think here Dondozo, I didn't see the moves, but if he went for Earthquake, I think this is a fine position.
I saw the move, and the move was Wave Crash into the King Gambit.
Okay,
King Gambit, I feel, tends to have Tower Flying, and honestly, Dondozo going down is pretty good, actually. Like, you just want to make sure that Tatsugiri doesn't get double targeted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so here...
So,
I don't think
this
Sucker
is
Punch,
pretty good.
Sucker Punch, I don't think it KOs even with the crit. Oh, but we see Spike Shield. Okay, so this is a pretty bold turn for Iceberg. He goes for a Wave Crash. It should pick up the KO. Oh, it doesn't. Okay. And that's why I don't play Dondozo.
This does more damage.
If?
No, this doesn't get the KO. No shot.
No, but Sucker Punch does.
No, it doesn't. There's a rest.
Yeah, I mean, Sucker Punch does if it connects. But it doesn't connect.
Right.
Yeah.
To click Sludge Bomb and Assurance again, and hope that ends up getting you there. But this is a pretty
tough spot for Kyogre right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Dondozo going back to full health this turn. And yeah, I don't know He's probably thinking of a way out of this situation. I don't think there is one, actually. So, yeah, we're going to see the end game.
Sludge Bomb Assurance starts to do something.
Sludge Bomb Assurance, yeah.
It's going to do probably about 25%. If you get the poison, it does a little bit more.
Yeah, I think actually it does a bit more than 25, maybe. Earth Power did a lot of damage earlier. Yeah. Okay, there's the poison. Yeah. And Assurance should do about like 26. 20, yeah. I don't know why I said 26. That's just annoying. I could have said 25.
There's out more damage than I thought. So the thing now is it an unbundle in the back? Because unbundle in the back probably wins the game. Honestly,
I mean, actually, there is Goldango.
Yeah, but you're gonna outspeed with full. You're gonna be able to outspeed. I don't know. So does Flutter Mane win? Flutter Mane probably wins.
Yeah, but he can only have one between Iron Bundle and Flutter Mane.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah. We're not playing doubles overused.
This turn does not feel correct.
Yeah, and Iceberg keeps predicting these moves, so went for Wave Crash onto the King Gambit, and here I think Dondozo can leave the recoil damage and the poison,
which is unfortunate. That's good for Kyogre.
Yeah, that's huge for Kyogre. Yeah, that 6 HP is the HP amount that Dondozo has to live with. So the last one from Kyogre's side is Iron Bundle, and yeah, Booster Energy activates, but I don't know what we're going to see. Here, Iron Bundle is going to pick up the KO onto Dondozo, and Glamora can fire off maybe a Slash Bomb onto the Tatsugiri.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, but I don't think that's enough for Kyogre to win the game.
What it comes down to is we live and die by rock slides. You live and die by muddy waters.
Yeah, no, actually, you know.
Ooh! There was to start us off. Oh man,
there was the drop.
I forgot about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, and right now we have like Freeze Dry on Tatsugiri, I think. Or you could go for Freeze Dry onto Goldango. I think that's the win condition. Eck. And Freeze Dry onto the Goldango. You have to pick up the freeze. And Terra type water, yeah.
And that's funny.
Yeah, and Iceberg keeps forgetting he's locked onto Muddy Water since the beginning of the game.
Wait, what? Don't you Terra Steel?
No,
you don't Terra Steel. You Terra Water. You Terra Water because one thing, because you're getting the KO normally, so you try to get the 2 KO with Muddy Water, and yeah, this lines up really well.
Oh, okay, this was the last move I was expecting. Okay.
You see what's being locked into by Goldango?
Yeah, I think that's pretty.
It's Make It Rain.
Yeah, I think Make It Rain is the only option here for Iceberg. So double protect to scout for maybe a mistake from the opponent, because if it was to lock in onto Shadow Ball, maybe there would have been a different play. But yeah, Make It Rain. And I think the win condition, once again, is Muddy Water, miss onto the Glamora, and Freeze Dry, freeze onto Goldango for Kyogre. And that's pretty unlikely to happen. Okay, it goes for Hydro Pump, trying to pick up like 2 crits in the same move.
And it connects! Muddy Water connects on both targets!
Yeah.
Everything hits!
Hits, and the game is over. Yeah, he was trying to go for a Muddy Water miss and Earth Power onto the Goldengo, but yeah, we've seen the Muddy Water hitting, and that's game. Iceberg wins the BO3 2-1, and yeah, we've seen some pretty things here. Mainly, we've seen Iceberg adapt to the BO3 in a pretty huge way. Like, he brought the same Pokemons. No, not the same Pokemon. He never brought the same four.
Pokemon every single game.
Yeah.
Every single game he brought different Pokemon, but he kept the same lead between Game 2, not Game 1, Game 2, and Game 3.
Yeah. And he played it, in my opinion, he played the mind games with Dondozo perfectly between the games. So between game 2 and Game 3. Leading with the same 2 mons maybe made his opponent expect that he had the same 4. So the same 2 in the back. And he surprised him with the Dondozo switching 1 turn, even if the opponent predicted it. So... great analysis mid-game from Kyogre SG, expecting the Dondozo to switch in, and noticing that Goldengo switching in that turn wasn't was a bit sus, maybe.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we'll play to both actually.
Honestly, the King Gambit was really cool on that turn, but honestly, it just made me wish that, wow, if there was that Flutter Mane in the back, that could have swung the game. But the team does struggle to get enough damage at Dondozo. Obvious that it struggles that way. Like, Dondozo did a lot and was breaking through Kyogre's team. It just did so much. And it's really hard to understand, hey, what can I do? What can I get away with? And if I do that, I might not Goldengo.
Yeah, that's kind of what you have to think about. Like, I win against Dondozo, but then at what cost? Like, if it costs me 2 health bars, then Goldengo comes in and wins with Make It Rain. And that's kind of what happened. Like, there was that Fury with the Muddy Water, but yeah, Goldengo on his side was kind of securing the win. And yeah, let's go to the final matchup, because we have some very good players. Yeah. Let's start with the results.
About the players, but really, I'm just wanting to go talk about the teams.
Yeah. And about the players, before we talk about the teams, we have Polar Bear, who recently got top 8 at San Diego's Regional Series 1, but still a huge Scarlet and Violet tournament. And he won the last season, the last NPA season with the Puppies, and as Zelda Challenge. That, I mean, honestly, I was talking about Zelda Challenges with some friends some days ago, and man, it was like a huge experience, because they were the only online tournaments. Like, there was this period of time where you had like the Zelda Challenge on maybe, I don't know, April, and you had to prepare for the Zelda Challenge. Like, you didn't use it to prepare for some other tournaments. And that's kind of...
It was like top 2, top 4 players get the money. And it was like a lot of money for these online tournaments, which no one was really doing and hosting back then. And it was huge. And also it was on Showdown, so it was going by a lot faster and really hard to keep track of everything.
Yeah, and I just miss that feeling of like having to prepare for an online tournament instead of using online tournaments to prepare for other IRL things.
Got
but
a quick question though.
Yeah.
So, why is there a Q in Polar Bear's name? And because I've been joking around and calling it Polar Bear just for fun. Kind of like to be a little obnoxious because there's a Q in the name. I don't like that the Q is silent.
I have no idea, actually. If we have Giovanni in chat, maybe he can explain it.
Okay, because I really want to know, and until I know, I'm good. Until there's a reason for me to stop calling it the Polar Bear.
Polar Bear.
I'm gonna keep calling it that.
Yeah, it's just Polar Bear from now on. And
Perfect.
let's talk about Nails. Nails, obviously, a huge player. First by CPs in North America during the 2016-2017 season. He won a regional, so in that period, and so 2 times regional champion, and one of them was in 2017, and one of them was in 2019. I think they were Roanoke 2017 and Dallas 2019 in Moon Series, and got top 6 at the Players Cup 2 Global Finals, and obviously top 6 is a result because we had the double elimination bracket. And yeah, so solid player over the years, and we're going to see the team right now.
He has top cuts, and he does like really well. And he also like, I know it's Smogon stuff, but in Smogon Champions League, he was playing doubles OU, and he was in the regular season. He went completely undefeated, so
Yeah.
he is really good in these like team tournaments at prepping and helping other people prep. Just
So
he wants to
huge-
be in a team that's active and works, that he gets along with.
Yeah, huge work for the team as well, so team player. And talking about the team, we have some spicy things here. And Polar Bear...
There is a Scyther.
Wait a second, we have the explanation for Polar Bear's nickname. Username story, I needed a name universal for all games I would play. The O was taken when I was making one, and it was a thing for people to fill in the vowels with Q or X around 2014, so I just stuck with it. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay,
That
makes
yeah.
sense.
So you're still Polar Bear though, and
So, someone when it told me that it was the PQ LAR wasn't Polar Bear, but it was like peculiar. And we
peculiar.
were like,
Okay.
No, the word peculiar, like
Yeah.
PCLAR. We were like, wait, that's cool, but there's no I. That's not spelled correctly.
Yeah.
So we were so confused. We were like very much wondering about it, but pretty cool.
Yeah, but talking about the teams.
So it's Polar Bear. So it's Polar Bear, but like the Q is an O. Got it.
Yeah, and we
Alright.
have a paraffin control team for Polar Bear. So with the screens, Grimsnar and Among Us. And we're going to see if Volcarona is going to set up with Quiver Dance, or if it's going to support the team with like some Struggle Bug, Will Wisp, Rage Powder, and those things. And Nails,
Yeah.
I don't know. He has the core Talonflame, not Talonflame, sorry, Gothitelle and Tyranitar to counter the NDD armor stuff. But then I have no clue what is happening. Like I talked with Enosh about the Scyther a bit before we started the stream, and he tried to tell me what it does. I still think it's not like the best pick. If you want to talk about it.
When you were watching, for example, Chongjin's team, in his game, he went and had the Talonflame, and the Talonflame went down pretty early. And what did he lack? He lacked Pokemon to click Earthquake with.
Yeah.
And it turns out that beating Great Tusk and having another Earthquake immunity for your Great Tusk is really strong. And the combination of, let's say, Terra Flying on Tyranitar, like a Dragonite with Terra Flyings, and a Scyther, always gives you opportunities to click Earthquake and get the most out of your Great Tusk. On top of that, I'm pretty sure that Scyther gets turn and being able to pivot around. Really, there aren't many Pokemon that click Volt Switch U-turn, and finding another Pokemon that gets to do that is really cool.
Yeah, we have to rely on Iron Hands to click Volt Switch in this format, so... And we actually see Flip Turn, like potential Flip Turn and Volt Switch from Polar Bear's team. And yeah, so we have like a lot of Volt Turn stuff in this match. And we're going to see if Flip Turn and Volt Switch are in the game, and that could be useful going against Gothitelle. And I think Gothitelle is one of the Nail's favorite Pokemon to play over the years. Correct me if... Okay.
He's been using a good amount of Gothitelle, but honestly, I think that his heart it goes to Clefairy and Clefzern, things of that nature.
Yeah.
So he might end up using something similar to the UB Slows team coming up soon because, oh my goodness, did you see that stuff?
I did not, unfortunately.
Okay.
And we don't have the audio for the match, unfortunately, so we're going to keep the lo-fi music for this game. And yeah,
Amazing.
team preview. We're going to have Mystic Water, Palafin, Leftovers, Volcarona. So I don't know. I feel like Volcarona is a very weird Pokemon in this format. You're going to run pretty much always Leftovers or Citrus Berry, and it can be both setup or like either setup or support with the same items. And that's kind of strange.
The big thing is it needs something to heal it up.
Yeah.
Or some healing move. And honestly, I've seen both Giga Drain.
Yeah,
and
we have
some Morning Sun sometimes too.
Volcarona Morning Suns?
Yeah, I ran into that a little bit before, and I thought that was really cool. But
okay.
I don't know.
And I just want to point out a thing. We have Cover Cloak on Goldengo in this match. So I'm not sure why. Maybe for the Icy Winds and the Garganacle.
Icy Winds, Snarl, and Garganacle
yeah, Snarl,
and
right,
have
Snarl.
all been used a lot. So against Arcanine, until you were kind of like, maybe I can switch in. But now you're like, wait, I can't. It murders me. But there is a screen, so what would be cool is like maybe there's like a recover on Goldengo. That would be something that I think is cool.
Yeah, and as for the leads, we see that Palafin does not have Flip Turn, and that comes into play against Gothitelle. So Palafin has
baby form is
has to stay in the like small fish form. I don't know how it's called, but yeah, small fish is fine.
I think that I would call it. It goes from 0 to hero. So right now it's like it looking like Finizen, but we can call it 0 form, and then we could call it hero form.
Okay, so 0 form Palafin.
That's what I'm gonna call it.
Yeah, and we're going to see Terra Ground coming into the game for a great task from Nail's side, and Protect from Palafin to maybe avoid that Fake Out. Yeah, but Fake Out is coming on to Grimmsnarl. Maybe calling out the Protect. Or, I just wanted to, like, not let Grimmsnarl set up the screen and try to go for the 1-hit KO on turn 1 onto Palafin. I think what Nails is going to go for is, like, he wants to trap Palafin on the field, and he wants to KO it before Gothitelle dies, and maybe he wants to feel free to switch out with Gothitelle and not be forced to stay on the field to, like, trap that Palafin.
Yeah. Like, the big thing for me now is, does Palafin take a hit? Would Reflect get there? Does Gothitelle have Helping Hand?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if this Palafin survives, it's a really good spot for Polar Bear.
Yeah, I think with the Helping Hand, I think it doesn't survive, honestly.
No, I don't think it survives.
I mean, we're going to see it very soon, so yeah. Helping Hand matches the Reflect, and ooh!
It survives!
And with a great amount of health, actually. And is it boosting item?
It's with a great amount of health, but really there's a wave crash, so all that health disappears.
Okay, it is Focus Sash, and that's the only reason why it didn't KO. And Palafin actually frees himself from these Shadow Attack trap, and he's able to like leave the field and oh my god, actually Polar Bear doesn't have so much damage. Recover!
Oh my goodness, so he screens with Recover and then has support with it. Oh my goodness, that's nasty.
Yeah, and so it doesn't have protect, like, stall a turn and use Spirit Break to KO the Great Tusk, actually. So that might
maybe set up on the Great Tusk if you Terror Water, Nasty Plot, Parting Shot.
no, yeah, that's for
If
sure.
you're
But
able to use it as setup.
so it has Parting Shot. Did you see it?
Yeah, we saw Parting Shot. It
Okay.
had Parting Shot as the 4th move.
So yeah, we have another pivot option coming for Polar Bear's team, and yeah, it might go for the Terror Water and Parting Shot to bring in the Among Us and heal up the Goldango with Pollen Puff the next turn. And I think that's what we're going to see. Yeah, Terror Water, Nasty Plot, and Parting Shot, yeah, coming out from Grimsnar onto the Great Tusk. And Reflect plus the -1 on Great Tusk should be enough to, like, pretty much negate all the damage that's coming up from the Great Tusk here.
Yeah. And we have a Terror Stylization on the Goldango, going for the Terror Water to match Nils' Terror Ground Great Tusk.
Yep.
And that cleans up the super effective, makes it neutral. And this Goldango should be sitting pretty healthy now with the Reflect. Parting Shot doesn't go through, but Goldango's +2.
Yeah, let's see what Godil went for, actually. Maybe Taunt. No, okay. Okay, I think Goldango here... Ooh, that's a lot of damage, actually. And I think Goldango here wants to go for Recover, yeah, and Parting Shot onto the Great Tusk. I think that's what we're going to see. And yeah, so it just was delayed by a turn. Or maybe not, because we're seeing Polar Bear hover onto Light Screen. And okay, okay.
That's a decision.
Yeah. He wants to KO the Great Tusk, maybe. Or he wants to reduce the Gothitail damage. Okay, Recover.
Cover
and tries to go for the KO on Great Tusk. But actually...
He gets rewarded.
Yeah.
Why did he get rewarded for this?
And yeah, Tyranitar brings the sand on the field.
The Parting Shot, that's really cool, actually.
Yeah.
That would have stopped the Parting Shot.
Let's see if Tyranitar gets, like, 2-hit KO. I think so.
It's going to take a lot of damage to not get 2-hit KO'd, but it will be put in Make It Rain range. Make It Rain range.
Yeah.
But this is pretty cool. Honestly, that was well played.
Yeah, I think we could see
stuck recovering.
I think we could see maybe Parting Shot or a Light Screen. Okay, he wants to keep the Parting Shot for the Great Tusk, I think, and that's fair. I don't think, or maybe yeah, I think Spirit Break maybe would have been better than Light Screen, but only if you're sure to be faster than the Gothitail, which you haven't. I mean, yeah, you've seen it this turn. I didn't pay attention to it, actually.
The Light Screen happens, and the cycle will go off, and the Goldango is probably going to be around 40% health. But now the Great Tusk is going to be faster. There's going to be a chip, and there's still a helping hand.
Yeah, like helping
maybe, hand. Like you can go get the Parting Shot off, but you don't have protect on. You don't have protect.
Yeah, and I think
with that protect on this.
Oh, but Iron Bundle comes on the field. Yeah, Iron Bundle wants to go for the Freeze Dry. And here, the Light Screen gets into play. And that's a really, really huge Light Screen right now. If you combine it with the Parting Shot, I think Goldango can leave a Freeze Dry.
You think that it lives a helping hand Freeze Dry from here?
I think
did
so.
About 20%.
Yeah, but like with light screen and -1 from parting shot. Okay, helping hand matches it, but I think it can live. Iron
Well,
Bundle.
you kind of need to. It's not like you have a choice at this point.
No,
You
yeah.
either live
Yeah, so
or
that's
you're
the
out.
play you're always going for. Yeah, you don't have any choice.
Without protect, your choices kind of get a little bit restricted.
Yeah. And yeah, so we're going to see Among Us coming in on the right side for Polar Bear. And let's see if the huge terrain control and screens parting shot is enough.
Wait, where was the helping hand?
Yeah. And that's
Oh, you
not
didn't
enough.
need it?
That's not enough. So
Apparently, you don't need helping hand, and that parting shot -1 light screen does not.
yeah,
help
yeah.
enough.
So we're going to see if Among Us and Grimsnar can manage to win the end game, because I'm not sure of how the end game is going to be played out. Like here, you're going to see probably Spirit Break onto Gothitelle to maybe pick the KO and free a spot, and Spore onto Iron Bundle. Maybe that's what I'm thinking about.
Like, I'm trying to see like if there's a way to get through this, but there's still a great tusk in the back, and you maybe Grimmsnarl can do enough. Like, Spirit Break does do damage.
Ooh, Leaf Storm.
And there is
Wait,
a Leaf Storm,
and this is a game
Amoonguss,
changer actually.
So you do have the KO on Iron Bundle.
Yeah,
with
you
Leaf
surely
Storm.
have it. Still
And,
going for Spore. Respectful. Here, Freeze Dry, okay. I think I would have gone for Leaf Storm here. But yeah, that's, I mean, okay, you have the Citrus Berry recovery. And
I guess that you have another chance to go for Leaf Storm.
yeah, I mean,
but
he didn't want to.
Do you have another
turn.
chance to go for
Ooh.
Leaf Storm?
But it lived. I think send damage is still on the field though. And it shouldn't be safety goggles. I think it's not. Let's see if I missed the safety goggles or not.
It is. It's safety goggles on the Gothitelle.
Yeah. Yeah, so this actually goes on Polar Bear's favor, I think. Because right now, Gothitelle doesn't, like, there isn't the freeze reach for Nails. So Gothitelle is forced to stay on the field another turn, and you can just go for Leaf Storm and not risk to be KO'd by like Adlan Rush. I think.
Yeah. The Great Tusk is at 1 HP, if I remember correctly. So there is a chance that Grimmsnarl would have been able to get through the game from here anyways.
Yeah. Actually, if Leaf Storm connects right now, we're going to see. I mean, we're going to see Polar Bear going 1-0 over Nails, unless Psychic crits. Okay, which it doesn't. And okay, Spirit Break gets the knockout on Gothitelle and Leaf Storm. Let's see here if it connects. It connects, and this is game. Unless Great Tusk goes for like Earthquake, double crit, and
I think the critical hit gets a KO on Grimmsnarl, though.
yeah, I'm not sure about that either.
Like, if the Earthquake gets a critical hit and KOs Grimmsnarl,
Yeah,
that might do it. But the last one reflects, so I think that there's going to be
protect. Yeah,
just to make sure that you get the KO on Amoonguss. So you protect the Great Tusk, and then you go for Earthquake that next turn.
yeah, that might be a play, but
then the Grimmsnarl just wins with Spirit Break either way.
I
Like, I
still
think you get to click Spirit Break.
yeah, I still think you have to like hope for at least one critical hit if you're Nails. And yeah, let's see here. Polar Bear thinking about it a lot, and still goes for double attack. Ooh, and goes for the healing. Yeah, predicting the protect. So right now, I think even the crit is not enough to KO the Grimmsnar after the Pollen Puff.
Maybe Headlong Rush, but you get to now and Spirit.
Yeah,
and that
like
locks it up.
you just double up onto the Great Tusk and the game should be over. I don't think even if it's Terra Ground, I don't think it gets the KO on Grimmsnarl with a critical hit. Earthquake, let's see the damage.
This is going to be a good calc to learn, though.
Yeah. No, never. Okay, would have never picked up the KO.
Would have done about 165.
Yeah.
165 leaves with 40.
And that's game. So Polar Bear gets game 1. And unfortunately, we didn't get to see the Scyther in this match, like in this game. Let's hope that Nails brings the Scyther to the next games. Like, I really hope so. So I won't see that thing.
You hope so, but like there aren't really, looking at the Pokemon on each team, there's not too much reason to go second.
Yeah, because he doesn't have. Yeah, he doesn't have the Great Tusk.
You know, might tear out of it. Like you really have to go. You have to go Great Tusk. You have to go Bundle. You have a little bit of freedom from that point on, though. Like maybe you mess around a little bit there, but
let's see.
Great Tusk, Iron Bundle, 100% you bring those. The Tyranitar looked really cool. I kind of want to go more of that. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think if there's something else that can work out.
Mm-hmm.
Dragonite, I think Dragonite would give you a flying type, which quake a little bit more easily.
Yeah.
But you want to be able to Terra Ground the Great Tusk, so that could
you always want that damage.
end up that could end up letting you bring Scyther to say, I want to ground him. That helps there, and particularly, I don't know.
Yeah, let's see what we're going to have for game 2. And right now, Polar Bear still thinking about the monster bring. I think Palafin was pretty weird in the last game because it had it lived actually Headlong Rush with the Terra, but that's the only thing it did, and that's not the Palafin value you want to see in a game, and that's why he's leaving Palafin at home for this game, and he's going to bring Volcarona as a lead instead, and we're going to see.
Is Volcarona a water type?
We're going to see the Terra type and the set. So I'm very, very curious to see if it's support or if it is setup. I'm a big fan of setup, the setup set on Volcarona. So let's see. Dragonite with Gothitelle brought up by Nails as the lead, and that matches the Volcarona pretty well. Yeah, it's set up with Bug Buzz, so no Giga Drain for the Volcarona. And
you can heal, just you need to heal off with Amoonguss.
Yeah, with the Amoonguss and with the Protect, because you have the leftovers on your hand. So here, pretty bold decision for Polar Bear to go for the instant Terra Water to get the Quiver Dance and Reflect on turn 1, predicting that the Fake Out is going to be onto Grimmsnarl, and yeah, he wants to capitalize on that.
Yeah.
So Terra Water
you're going
confirmed.
to take a lot of damage from a Terra Flying should that be used by Nails.
Yep.
But Nails could also be going for a Fake Out and trying to just... Yeah, I feel like you need to stop and slow down the setup on the Volt right now, not let it get set up. So I expect that to be a little bit more of the case. Mm-hmm. I think that the Terra Water on the go game winning, and I would very much be hesitant to Terra anything else.
Yeah, but right now maybe you are up against a Dragonite and a Gothitelle, and you want to playing Goldango. So Steel is the type you're going to want to go for
and the
defensively.
got targeted instead, so that was a free
So
Quiver
that
Dance.
was a huge turn for Polar Bear here, and yeah, a Quiver Dance set up for free, and right now you're going to have like maybe a reflect, and yeah, heat wave to start spam damage, and
Yeah.
he
Helping
chooses
Hand,
not to.
Extreme speed, I think, would get there.
Yeah, but yeah, you're
And
exposing yourself
then-
to like damage spam from Volcarona, and there is actually nothing you can do about it. Like to prevent it, you should go for maybe Helping Hand, Terra Blast on Volcarona, but you're going to let the Grimmsnarl set up the screen for free, and that's not what we were going to see. Yeah. So okay, critical hit
just
shouldn't
start
matter.
from it.
Yeah, the critical hit shouldn't matter, and was okay. Gothitelle
Misses the
avoid.
Gothitelle.
Okay.
That doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we're going to see Gothitelle. Okay, that
matters
matters.
a
That
little
matters.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because right now, I think maybe Helping Hand Extreme Speed is borderline to kill. But yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably with the leftovers recovery, maybe another turn where he protects. Should be enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here you cannot bring the Among Us on the field because of the Terra Blast threat from the Dragonite. You're instead going to bring Goldango, and you are going to be dealing a lot of spread damage.
What?
Yeah, or the Heat Wave.
Heat Wave.
Heat Wave and
They
Make It Rain
protect-
also is a huge threat for, I mean, anyone at this point. It's +1 Heat Wave and Make It Rain from Goldango. We're going to see.
Yeah.
We can also see
I
a
don't think
Protect
that either
and
one
Nasty
does
Block.
enough to an AV Dragonite. And a Sulfus Dragonite does quite a bit from here.
Yeah, you're right, yeah. And we're going to see actually an Among Us switching over Goldango. Not sure of this play actually. Maybe he's predicting a Stomping Tantrum. That might be the case. And we haven't seen Volcarona protecting. Yeah, Heat Wave, and okay, picking up the burn onto Gothitelle. And Heat Wave, yeah, Stomping Tantrum.
Gets the correct read again.
Yeah, calls the move from Dragonite. And okay, we have seen that Heat Wave is 2-hit KO on Gothitelle, and I didn't expect that, honestly. But yeah. So here, actually, Among Us cannot redirect the Extreme Speed. Rage Powder and Extreme Speed being in the same priority bracket, and Dragonite being faster than Among Us makes it so that Dragonite can Extreme Speed onto Volcarona, and I think that with Helping Hand, it could like pick up the KO maybe.
The big thing is that the Volcarona is like the Amoonguss and Volcarona are both trapped.
Yeah.
So Amoonguss is going to be taking a Terra Blast and probably going down here.
Okay, and we are not seeing an Extreme Speed yet.
Yeah.
Heat Wave instead, still missing
And
onto
it
Gothitelle.
misses the Gothitelle. My goodness.
Yeah, and Terra Blast is going to knock out for sure the Among Us. Yeah, and from now on, Goldango is going to have like a tough time, not against these two guys, but against whoever is in the back. So you're going to have Goldango against either Tyranitar or Great Tusk. I think we don't have like Iron Bundle and Cider in the back.
Yeah, having a Great Tusk in the back into Volcarona, Goldango, when you still have Focus Sash, feels pretty good.
Yeah. And we're going to see a Protect from Volcarona and Make It Rain. Yeah, you want to avoid the Extreme Speed damage on Volcarona, and you want to preserve it. Helping Hand coming out from Nails.
Forces a Protect and gets you a switch in the next turn.
Yeah. Yeah, no Stomping Tantrum. Probably knows that he's slower than the Goldango. being very, very bulky. We have seen this Dragonite like getting 3 hit waves and being still at like 20%, I think. So that's very bulky.
It's kind of insane.
Yeah. And we're going to see the last 2 Pokemons, of Nail's side. And I think we're going to have Great Tusk and maybe Iron Bundle. Not sure about the Iron Bundle. Great Tusk is going. Ooh, Scyther!
There's the Scyther!
And I'm I'm hyped. Okay, Great Tusk is here. Let's see. I think +1 Heat Wave is enough to pick up the KO on Scyther, even if it's Eviolite. So what I'm wondering here is, does Earthquake pick the KO on Volcarona?
It should get the KO on Volcarona. The question is, how does Scyther match up into Recover Goldango at this point, and will Earthquake Aerial Ace be enough? How much do you need to... Maybe you really need to just tank the Heat Wave with the Eviolite Scyther somehow, which I don't think is possible. Well, it is if you're bulky, but I think this has to be offensive.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And we see the Protect. Let's see if it went for the Earthquake, and I still think it has to KO the Volcarona to win the game.
It gets you get the KO on the Volcarona, but it's how does
Headlong
Goldango
Rush
match?
Okay.
What about Earthquake?
Yeah, no Earthquake coming out, and I actually don't see how Scyther
Scyther
can
does not win.
Yeah.
It's 1v1 anymore.
I don't know. Like,
Scyther does not win the 1v1 against Gold.
Maybe if it has something like I don't know, Air Slash, 7 flinches in a row.
It does not win the 1v1 against
No.
It needed to hit an Earthquake that turn and do
I was
damage,
trying
and
to
that
give it
just
some
was,
hope. Nasty Blah for the flex.
So Nails' play to get around this line was if you jump back to the turn Dragonite went down.
Okay. So protect from Volcarona and make it rain from the Goldango. Yeah.
What Nails could have done instead was switch out the Dragonite on the turn.
Switch out the Dragonite.
And then you'd have extreme speed for the next turn and to try to get a KO.
I think extreme speed needed to be boosted by Helping Hand in order to get KO on that Volcarona. It had like 100 HP.
Or it could have been just switching the Scyther, and then you got to go Great Tusk and Earthquake or get a KO, and then you end up having the Stomping Tantrum on the Dragonite.
Yeah, I get it.
So the Dragonite needed to be kept around one more turn, and that Scyther went down that Scyther was kept in for a situation it couldn't come back from.
Yeah, I think maybe switching out the Dragonite, as you said, was the right move. Maybe even sacking the Scyther was fine, I think. Mm-hmm. And Earthquake, I don't know. Earthquake always gets the KO onto the Goldango. I'm not sure of it. Okay. Even without the boosting item.
Didn't... I don't know if it always gets the KO because it's bulky.
Yeah, I'm just talking it right now.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, so no Life Orb. Maybe Jolly. No, it doesn't. Okay. It was max HP. No, 244.
It was 191 HP, so it was like pretty much max HP.
193, I think. And
that 193 is max. 191 is like close enough.
Yeah, around that amount.
Yeah, so it's a lot of HP.
Yeah, and Jolly max attack Great Tusk does like 6.3% chance to one hit KO on Goldango. So I think that was just well played by Polar Bear, knowing that his Pokemon were able to lead like certain attacks. And the turn where he called the Stomping Tantrum on the Goldango using it as a bait, then switch out onto the Among Us. I think that was the main turn, and also turn 1.
Play.
Also turn 1.
Yeah. Nails preventing the reflect, I think, was still really good.
Mm-hmm.
But Polar Bear was using the leftovers and the option to make it that just kept Nails expecting a protect to be used. I want to go heal up my a little bit more. I want to do this. And then Polar Bear was like, I know you think that, but what if I don't?
Yeah. I know that you think that, and I'm really going to use that that knowledge. So yeah, nice baiting from Polar Bear. And yeah, brings the stars on the score of 4 and 3. Okay, for stars. Thank you, Polar Bear. And yeah, so we are going to maybe read some of the current state of the week. I'm not going to stream because I don't have the scene prepared. I'm sorry. So we currently have the Symbionts who won against the Crowns with Fede Campo's win against Chongjun. The Stars are 4 and 3, and the last match has to be played. I don't know when, and I'm not sure of which is the match because the doc isn't updated. Polar Bear, if you want to tell us something more. And the Blizzards won 5 and 2 against the Detectives. So Iceberg won, but his team lost the week anyways. The Samurais won against the Puppies, 6 and 2.
The Samurais were going insane. I think they were up 5-0 or 6-0. Something insane. Just to open it up.
Okay.
And the Puppies are really strong, but the fact that the Samurais won people 3 games in was insane to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen,
congrats, Abe.
I've seen Meluka's match. I don't know. I've seen Meluka playing Mouse Hold with Friend Guard, Population Bomb, and Feint. So, yeah, that's a set I've never seen, actually. And I'm sure we are going to see some more of that. And Gahaku against Mao is going to decide Stars against Monarchs, whether it's going to be a tie or a win for the Stars. And
wow, the Puppies had a great draft, so the Stars going up 4-3 on the first week is really strong.
Yeah. And last but not least, Cruisers won against the United. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. We're going just to see, Gahaku and Mao. They are going to decide the match in 5 hours. Thank you to you. And I think that's all from us today. And we have the Flutter main plush right there.
Yeah, it's a Mr. Biss plush.
Oh, it's Mr. Biss.
It's more relevant. Yeah, dude. It's Mr. Biss. So watch out. It's going to keep doing well. And hopefully stick around to 50% usage.
Yeah.
My goodness, this Pokemon is becoming insane. Or was always insane. I guess the Paradox Pokemon means that...
we lost your audio for a bit.
Oh no! But I guess that the Paradox Pokemon making it a pass Pokemon means that Mr. Biss was insane all along.
That's true. Yeah. And so is Donphan. We missed on some huge picks in the past.
Donphan was actually used in Gen 3, I believe. I think it's OU in Gen 3 because of Rapid Spin.
Oh yeah, okay. I know very close to 0 of overused, so yeah. I trust you. And
it sounds believable at least. If not, I think Gen 2. It was OU.
Yeah, maybe Gen 1. Is it Gen 1 or Gen 2?
Not Gen 1, it's a Gen 2 Pokemon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Once I knew all the old Gen Pokemons, like Skarmory, people think it's Gen 3, but it's Gen 2. I don't know why people think it's Gen 3. This is goodbye. And thank you for watching, guys. We're going to... I think I'm going to stream the week 2 on Sunday. Next Sunday, same hour. Let's see if Enosh is going to be there or if it's going to be someone else. I don't know.
Ooh,
Ooh.
I'm already getting replaced.
No, like I want to like
I know.
bring a lot of people. Cybertron.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, that'd be epic.
if you can get me in touch with Cybertron, I'm fine with it. But I'm not. Okay.
I can
okay.
ask. He's been pretty busy, but
Let's see, let's
I know
see.
that people are just in general pretty busy. But like always can go and ask him.
Cool.
Maybe
okay.
as we get further into these games become a little bit more interesting, there could be might be able to get him in. Especially we can get a team for him to then like use ranked from NPA.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
yeah, it's true. And so yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and see you next week, same hour, same day. Well, thank you. Bye.
Goodbye. And